Happy Thursday, Pride Dynasty League. Pretty week in football. I guess that's the standard response when you lose to a team that hasn't won yet. Possible foreshadowing when we talk about fantasy? But I gotta say the fantasy season has been going pretty good. From my viewpoint anyway. Could be better. Could be worse. On screen now is a snapshot of the standings. Every team has finally taken a loss. But on the flip side, every team has yet to experience the taste of victory. I'm pulling for you, Sage. Good luck, brother. But at the moment, it looks like we have a tight race to see who's going to be a member of the playoff 7. Will Stacking Yards and Hollywood Cole brothers add their names to the mix? To lead off Week 8 recap, we have classy strippers going head-to-head against disabled vigilantes. And just like I predicted, in a grand upset, disabled vigilantes knocks off the reigning champion. This win right here could have huge implications for being able to enter the playoffs or even playoff seeding. Next, we had Griffey Case going head-to-head against Hollywood Cole brothers. And unfortunately, I picked Griffey Case to win this fight. But those Hollywood Cole brothers will not go off into the night. They will survive. They will live on. Wait. That's a little premature? Oh, premature. Okay, got it. Hollywood Cole brothers gets this victory. Next, we had Stacking Yards going up against Dynasty Sage. Knew it wasn't going to be very high scoring. Stacking Yards doing just enough to get this victory. If Dynasty Sage was going to win one, it probably would have been this matchup right here. Don't worry, Sage. You've got a handful of opportunities to attempt to rescue the village from utter disaster. Next, we had Unfuckwittable going head-to-head against Dunder Mifflin, and let's just say it wasn't a pretty sight, folks. A massive margin of victory, almost as if we had the fantasy stud playing the fantasy dud. Next, we had Wubba Lubba Dub Dub going head-to-head against Chicago Chalupas. And another easy victor for the owner that is guiding the late great Bull Cities team to epic victory and headed toward the playoffs. Next, we had Redacted ADP 1897, our only undefeated team, going head-to-head against the boss. And the boss, doing what nobody else has achieved this season, has vanquished the juggernaut, which we know as Redacted ADP 1897. Now that's what I call a statement victory. And last, but definitely not least, we had our game of the week. And didn't I tell you, boys? Didn't I tell you that both of these teams were poised to score over 300 points? I just figured West Coast Giants would be able to eke out this victory. And with the Niners coming up on a bye week, I'm afraid he needed this one, folks. Less than half a point. Agent Smith ekes out this victory and keeps himself in the conversation of maybe getting a playoff bye. Excellent battle by both teams, but like Highlander, there can only be one. Much like there can only be one fantasy stud, one fantasy dud. And apparently in one game, Unfuckwittable is our fantasy dud for the week. 2-time winner in a row. Can he keep the streak going? Odds are in his favor. But Dunder Mifflin etching his name in the fantasy studs of 2023. A little bit of an overkill, but good sign that your team is operating on all cylinders. The boys in Scranton, Dunder Mifflin, getting the fantasy stud of the week. Let's take a look at how the power rankings shook out. Starting from the bottom till we get to the top, we have Dynasty Sage at 14, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub at 13, Unfuckwittable at 12, Stacking Yards at 11, Griffey Cakes at 10, those Hollywood Cole brothers at 9. Sitting at 8, we have those West Coast Giants. Huge fall off from last week when they were rated number 3. Rounding out the playoff 7, we've got Classy Strippers. At 6, the boss. At 5, we've got Disabled Vigilantes. Dunder Mifflin at 4. Chicago Chalupas at 3. Agent Smith sitting at number 2. And still ruling the roost, we have Redacted ADP 1897. We're in November, folks. The weather's getting a little bit crispy. How will week 9 shake out? First, we have Disabled Vigilantes going head-to-head with West Coast Giants. And I'm not going to beat around the bush here. Disabled Vigilantes should get this win. Nay, will get this win. Next, we have Agent Smith going head-to-head with Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. It would take a miracle for Wubba Lubba Dub Dub to pull this from Agent Smith. And we ain't even close to Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Agent Smith gets this victory. Next, we have Chicago Chalupas going up against Unfuckwittable. And it's a no-brainer. Unfuckwittable has been the dud of the week 2 weeks running. Chicago Chalupas should and will get this victory. Next, we have Dynasty Sage going head-to-head with Griffey Cakes. And I almost picked Sage to get his first victory here, but I can't do it. I can't do it. Unfortunately, Sage will have to wait another week to maybe get his first victory. Next, we have Hollywood Cole Brothers going head-to-head against those classy strippers. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where I have the upset of the week. Classy strippers will go down to those Hollywood Cole Brothers. Next, we have The Boss going head-to-head against Stacking Yards. And I see no reason why The Boss can't continue his winning streak. I feel it will be close, but The Boss should get this victory. Last but not least, we have our game of the week. Dunder Mifflin going head-to-head against Redacted ADP 1897. How will our former undefeated team respond to taking that loss? Let's just say I'm picking Redacted ADP 1897 to win this contest, despite Dunder Mifflin having an epic fantasy stud week. I believe this strong showing will continue, just not to that degree. Redacted ADP 1897 gets the bounce back victory. Those are my picks. Like it or love it. Good luck to everybody with their fantasy football endeavors this week. Everybody except those West Coast Giants. That's all I have for you today. Be easy. Peace.